We talk a lot about superheroes on this channel, so I thought it'd be fun to check out from the channel top 5 best, top 10 real-life superpowers you won't believe actually exist. I love these kind of videos. We don't really cover them that often, but I thought it'd be fun to mix it up and go to a top 10 video that's not about film. Let's do it.
Hello there, YouTube. We have all had that dream of possessing superpowers, whether it's the ability to teleport, go invisible, or have unbelievable strength. We all at one point in life have wished to have extraordinary abilities, and more than likely you're still wishing for it right at this moment.
What happens to a toad
As we sit back and wonder what life would be like with them, some human beings possess them naturally.
Soccer.
Forget Batman, Spider-Man, Thor, the X-Men, and forget all of them. Today we share the top 10 real human superheroes in the world. And before we start that, tap that subscribe button and activate notifications with the bell icon.
Dude,
you
you're
don't
at
want
like
you to miss out
millions
on
of
anything
followers.
because we actually produce a lot of content.
Always use a
here.
million more. Tom Cruise is a real
Number
life
10, Stephen Wiltshire, or Shudder.
Oh,
Number
I've
10,
heard about
we have
this
Stephen
guy.
Wiltshire, the superhuman with a powerful mind. He has the most incredible photographic memories in the world and is able to recreate what he sees into amazing pieces of art.
It's incredible.
Stephen was born in 1974 on April 24th in London. He unfortunately experienced delays in learning, which was caused by autism, a condition his parents found out about later. Interestingly enough, the very first words he ever spoke were pencil and paper. It's as if he knew what he would do later on in life, even before he could talk.
Oh, wow.
When he turned 5, his parents sent him to a school in West London where his passion for drawing was noticed. He continued with his amazing gift for the coming years until 2006, when he was officially honored with the title of a member of the Order of the British Empire for his outstanding contribution to art.
And Jacob
Today,
Tremblay
people
accepted.
refer to him as the human camera, as he can capture landscapes with his eyes and later recreate the exact images and
that's so
drawings on
sexy.
paper.
What a
One of his
sexy
incredible
ability.
pictures of the Singapore panorama, which he drew with no reference at all and just a story
Meet a
image in
girl,
his brain.
you draw
And
her.
how cool is that?
Or a
And also
guy,
wouldn't get on his
depending
bad side. If you do something embarrassing in
White
front of him, he can
shirt
recreate it
orientations.
perfectly. Number
That's
9.
incredible.
Miroslav Magola, also known as Magnetics. The first time I watched Miroslav Magola, I was convinced whatever he was doing was a magic
What?
trick. It's hard to believe anyone can stick metallic things on their skin with no gimmicks, magnets, or glue and have them stay there for minutes without
What?
falling.
How's
Well,
that
Mr.
possible?
Magola is capable of what most people think is impossible. He is the true definition of a magnetic man. He was born in Gorzał Wielkopolski in Poland in the year 1958. As the youngest of 3 children, he was passionate about politics and often shared his opinions growing up.
Okay.
Later on in life, in the year 1992, he traveled the world where he developed an interest in unlocking secrets of the mind and psychokinesis. From there, he learned how to use his mind to create a magnetic field which could attract metallic objects to his body. He still says he's not using his brain to anything near its full potential. I wonder what would happen if he did.
That's
We might have a
incredible.
mutant uprising on our hands with Magneto. Number 8.
Oh, wow.
Dean Kamazis, or Marathon Man. Marathons are usually 26.2 miles long. Dean Kamazis runs up to 7 marathons every day, and this is just for
Jesus.
practice. He does this every morning before
How are
breakfast
your
and has another
knees?
speed workout in the evening.
What?
He has broken
That's
world records by running
insane.
135 miles across Death Valley in the middle
do
of
you
summer,
eat?
which is amongst the hottest places on Earth. And atop that, he also ran another marathon in the North Pole, which is the coldest place on Earth at temperatures of below 45
So
degrees.
impressive.
He once ran 50 marathons in 50 U.S. states in 50 days. Before discovering his passion and stretching out the possible limits, Dean Kamazis was a miserable man, as his wife explains. He had enough money, a great family, a beautiful home, but he wasn't happy or satisfied with any of those. Number 7.
Damn,
Liam
that's
Hofstra,
crazy.
or Hercules.
I ain't worried about these
Get
kids.
ready to be impressed. Amazed,
I've seen so many of these kinds of kids on
At a
Instagram.
glance,
So
you would probably
freaking
think, oh
disturbing.
wow, that's a great display of Photoshop skills.
But
Just
cool.
because Liam Hofstra doesn't look
I
real,
wish I
the
was this
things
kid,
he's
though, still.
capable of don't either. You probably haven't ever seen a baby with biceps, have you? Well, Liam shocked the world with his skeletal structure and muscle mass. Born in Michigan, Liam possessed incredible abilities at a very young
Oh my
age.
God, I can't
At
even
5
do
months,
that.
and yes, I said 5 months. He could easily win an Iron Cross competition at that point. By the age of 3, his body muscle ratio was at 40%. He was taken to doctors, and after running some tests, they concluded he had a very rare condition where his body compounds restrict fat production and encourage muscle creation.
Wow,
If he isn't
what a
Superman,
gift.
then I don't know who is. Number 6. Daniel Tammet.
What is the
or
long-term negative
Brainwave.
effect of something like
Daniel Tammet was born on a blue Wednesday on January 31st, 1979. He says it was a blue day because that's how his birth date appears in his brain, and so do all other numbers. Numbers are his best friends. He describes numbers as shapes, figures, and colors. As a child, he struggled with epileptic seizures, which got better with
Fascinating.
treatment. When he turned 25, he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Despite all his illnesses, he has tremendous memory and can use his brain to do mathematical calculations at a superhuman level. People describe him as a prodigious savant due to his abilities. He can count 22,514 digits of pi, list all the prime numbers between 1 and 90,000, and make cube multiplications like 72 by 72 by 72 with his
So
head.
cool.
He is a walking and talking calculator.
So cool.
Number 5. Slavica Pajic, or Current. And again, I'm sorry if I butchered your name there. Ever watched Storm and wanted to be like her? Well, guess what? There is a human being just like her. Although he can't produce electric blasts as the famed superhero can, he possesses superb abilities. Every year,
Then
close
he's
to
not just
100,000
like her.
people are treated for electrocution, most of them with severe burns. Every year in the US, 60 people die from electrocution. For this reason, Slavica Pajic is no ordinary human, as he can withstand voltage as high as 20,000, while the average man will be hurt by 50 volts.
Wow.
He had a very normal childhood, was born and raised in a middle-class home in Pasvara County in Serbia, and again, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. At the age of 17, he discovered his unique ability. Since then, he has set 2 Guinness records in 2003 and 1983. In addition to his remarkable powers, he can also store electricity in his body. He discovered this when he set an alcohol-soaked cloth on fire with his skin. Scientists have tried to explain how he can do what he does, and none of them has found a concrete theory to base it on. Number 4.
That would be like a real
Tori
superhero
Allen,
origin.
or Monkey Girl. Tori Allen is a real-life Spider-Woman. She can climb on a cliff in no time and make it appear as though she is taking a comfortable stroll by the park. Tori was born in Savalu, Berlin, where she grew up with many animals and had experiences the average kids don't. She also had a pet monkey called Georgie.
Oh,
Georgie
how
was
awesome.
her best friend for 5 years, and she followed him all over, learning how to climb from her friend. By the age of 11, she became a professional rock climber. Today, she has won every rock climbing competition she has participated in, and she has a way of making it look so easy. Today, Tori travels the world advising kids to stay in school, try sports, and stay away from drugs. She advises them to get high from games other than alcohol and drugs. Number 3.
I don't know if I'll listen to that.
Isao Machi, or Ronin. Isao is a samurai superhuman. He has sensory powers beyond the average human being, and he can use his sword in a way that no one has ever been able to in the past. He is also a double Guinness World Record holder, and in one of his amazing shows, he was able to cut through a BB gun pellet that was moving at 200 meters per hour.
Wow.
That is nuts. After watching him perform, Dr. Romani Dervasala said this about him. This is on a whole different level of sensory processing, as he is not using his vision. It appears as though he is using something so fluid, something so procedural and easy for him. Some say his expertise is as a result of his training and dedication to sharpening his skills. However, when
Sharpening.
you look closely, his abilities go beyond the average skilled man. We can only classify him as a Superman. Or Samurai Jack. That's even cooler. Number 2. Scott Flansburgh's Calculator. Scott Flansburgh is a human calculator. He was born in Herkimer, New York in 1963.
I thought we already
on
have a
December
human
28th.
calculator on this
Scott
list.
is more than just a natural
This
genius,
one's solar
as he has
powered.
incredible mental calculator abilities. At a young age, he was able to solve complex mathematical calculations without having to write it down or even use a calculator. When he became a youth, he realized numbers and angle shapes correlated, which contributed to his refusal of counting from 1 to 10, and said he would list numbers from 0 to 9. His ability to compute and grasp mathematics is so incredible, such that he can calculate and give mathematical equation answers faster than a calculator. In addition to this, he can tell you
Really?
the exact date any previous day he fell on without even taking time to think. It's as if numbers,
really?
equations, and days of the week throughout history float in his brain. We saved the best for last. Alright, I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try. It really works. Number 1. Stig Severinsen, alias Unknown. Stig Severinsen was born in 1973 in the city of Aalborg in Denmark. He is known as Gil from his hometown, and this is because of his ability to hold his breath underwater longer than any human being. He has a PhD
Oh,
in
my
medicine
friend
and
told me
several
about
awards in
this
underwater
guy.
rugby events, 2 records from Guinness, and 4 free diving world records.
Underwater
His
rugby?
impressive record is holding his breath underwater for 22 minutes.
Yeah.
The average man would be dead if they stayed underwater with no air supply for more than 10 minutes. However, Stig is no ordinary man. He can hold his breath for 22 minutes underwater. He is quite the Superman.
He trains
no
people.
man has come close to challenging his record. After testing, it was discovered that he can store red blood cells in his spleen, which aid him in this impossible ability, much like how dolphins operate. He says he is able to do this as he dedicated his whole life to holding his breath, and by doing this constantly, his body was able to adapt. Through training and strict discipline, he was able to push his body into
One
the
Punch
realm
Man.
of superheroes. And that was our video for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you loved it, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with friends, family, everybody. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't.
Please
yet. Tap
do.
the bell notification icon for more updates on the
Top
highly
5
advertised
best.
videos. Have a great day, everybody.
This is top 10 though. Thanks for putting this together. This is it was a great video. Love the narration behind it too. Oh man, let's talk about some of them. I don't understand why the government hasn't hired these guys. This is a real life Avengers waiting to happen. This could be a real superhero team up, man. With photographic memory guy. These are my superhero names for them, by the way. Photographic memory dude. Rock climb chick.
Ledge.
Electric absorber. I don't know what that guy would really do unless you needed to put him in some really high stakes weird scenario.
Maybe he can go around static shock people or something, or fry electronics like an EMP.
No, there you go. Marathon man, a guy with that level of cardio. It would be funny if that guy really has low stamina in the bedroom, though.
He's probably got a gigantic heart, though.
They got like 2 human calculators on here. I feel like that would come in handy in some way. I don't know what kind of government job that would really entail. Hey, he's the kind of guy you want to have dinner with, so you don't need to whip out the calculator for the tip, am I right?
He's the guy you can count on.
Am I right?
To know the percentage.
Am I right? Yeah, no, I'm very jealous of all these people. I'd kill for even one of these. I feel like the guy with the photographic memory, to me, that's like the sexiest gift because you're able to draw someone.
Yeah. And to do it like in depth with it's like it's portable, you can do it anywhere. It doesn't involve like, here, give me some pots and pans.
Yeah, I feel like if you're chasing someone down and you have that guy on the team and you need a description of him, you just sketch it up. I mean, that's just so cool. I love the story of the girl, what was her name, Tori, the rock climber, the world she grew up in, and the way the narration made it seem like she had a monkey friend and decided to bond with him.
Her monkey master is like Kubo and the Two Strings.
That's so cool. Just be able to climb with your monkey. That's every guy's dream right there.
Well, and that's beautiful too because it shows what you can learn from our animal friends.
Yeah, I don't get the point of what the magnetic guy was doing. I mean, that's a cool ability. I don't understand it. What was he trying to achieve exactly?
Yeah, that's more of like an oddity or like a record or something interesting, but I don't know what you would have a practical use for or how he would have figured that out one day.
Yeah.
Was he trying to create a magnetic field and then it happened, or did he just stick his head to a pot and then all of a sudden realize what he had done or something like that? I mean, you could armor him up that way if he could just cling metal to his body.
The underwater breath guy I've heard about just recently, like a couple months ago. My buddy was telling me about him. I think there's like some documentary about him now, or he does have videos out there where he teaches people methods on how to develop this skill. And to me, that's the most appealing one because a lot of these people who are on here, some of them it seems like you can train to develop that ability, like the rock climber, maybe even the samurai, if you really train hard.
Dedicate your life to it.
But the holding your breath ability, that would really come in handy because I'm underwater way too often for a variety of reasons.
Every time I take a bath, it is such a struggle.
You're a kid too, and you play those like hold your breath underwater for how long? Or someone's trying to drown you and you could hold your breath underwater. I'm thinking about all the worst case scenarios and how these gifts would come in handy.
So somebody could start trying to drown you and you could wait for like 10 minutes just so they could tire themselves out.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That would be kind of perfect. Plus, you know, you
could pretend to be dead. Ooh, you could pretend to be dead for like 15 minutes. You know, in movies, when the car crashes, they go off the highway and they go in the water and then they fire like a gun and all the bullets are spraying everywhere and it's that cool underwater shot where the bullets are zipping by underwater but they're not hitting our main character and they're like, he must be dead. And then right when they walk away, hero pops up out of water. Yeah. Except he wouldn't do that. He's staying there for 20 more minutes.
Just for the pleasure of doing so.
Really
Count up the
sell
bullets.
them.
Well, plus that would be great because like once you come out, you could sneak, you could hold your breath. If you were like a marksman or something, you could really steady your hand.
Yeah.
Like there's so many extra applications beyond just, like surviving underwater or something like that.
I would say calling the samurai guy Samurai Jack in this video, I'd like to believe that that guy would find that a term of endearment because that is the closest to a real life anime samurai I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
That is nuts what he can do. I mean, he'd be the coolest one to have on your team. He's a real life katana.
Yeah, right. He could just slice up and just about it. Plus, bless you. Do we have to get tested now?
Oh
Yeah, if you have it doesn't matter. Plus, you never know what else he could slice through that's not, wood or, maybe he could slice through concrete or something like that.
That's true. I think with enough speed, based off my homeschooling, I think you can do that.
Well, because I've seen people do this with fruit, but like to just have like 3 pieces of bamboo or something like that and have one consistent swipe. Like,
Well, they were talking about the BB gun bullet.
oh yeah,
That was traveling like 200 miles per hour, and he was able to slice it.
I
What
want-
they left out of the video was they shot about 100 of those at it, and he got one.
it took a really long time.
And he just kept like swinging around until one got.
Eventually, I had to get really close to do it.
I'll never understand the science behind any of this.
Except the buff child.
Yeah, I mean, the buff child ones always freak me out. We were young. There was a really popular figure called Little Hercules. That guy I actually met one time. He would never remember me. I'd remember him because once I met him and he walked away, people were like, that was Little Hercules. You know? Sometimes I would see him at LA Fitness, actually. I heard that kind of lifestyle was really tough for him. And I've seen like interviews. Apparently he had like a really insane dad. No, I really hope he doesn't watch this video. That kid, he has an actual genetic condition. So that hearing that kind of worries me of what possible negative repercussions can occur from such a thing, and what does your food intake have to be like? Because every once in a while, sometimes I'll be on Instagram and I'll go down the parkour journey of just watching a bunch of crazy stunts and then somehow I'll land on the kids who can do insane things, like little Bruce Lee is a really cool kid. And then there's one with a girl and her dad, and this girl's like, you know, practicing punches on a tree. And like these kids scare me because when they grow up,
They will have no fear.
yeah, like what is their career gonna be? You know, are they gonna become professional fighters and just be completely impossible to defeat? Or do they grow a little resentful towards this lifestyle of sacrificing everything to become the master of these things? But that kid with that condition, really impressive now. I mean, whoever he goes to school with, I'm sure is jealous of him, because that's like the kind of thing where if you're a kid who goes to school with a kid like that, you don't want to make fun of him.
No.
You can easily whoop your ass. Like that's just a stupid thing to
Destroy
do,
you.
you know? It's like I could see people like making fun of him behind his back, but you know, if he heard it, he could just, you know, just break your face. He could do that thing where he breaks your face. Murdering
Stab his thumbs
children
in
at
your
school. This is where these kind of videos take me. I don't talk about the actual true beauties of
Wonder,
things.
the human form.
How can we monetize or utilize these people for our own personal operatives?
It's gonna become Brightburn.
The human calculator one would be a great show-off ability at any party. The Marathon Man one, that seems like so excessive. It's a crazy ability that he has. I mean, how much glucosamine does that guy take?
'Cause he's
how
running-
damaged can his knees be at this point?
Like over 100 miles, so many days. That's gotta, like be doing a number on all of his joints and ligaments and everything like that. Like, I wonder if he maybe has some special condition with that.
Well, it seems like the psychology of the way this video at least broke him down was that there is a sense of escapism, and he's chasing, like, have you guys heard that term runner's high? He's taking that to a whole new extreme.
He's
'cause
living that
there's-
Gump life.
They're saying he had the money and the family, but that didn't make him happy, so he's getting like the scientific dopamine endorphin effects of just all this excessive running to achieve it, which is crazy. And yeah, I'd love that ability, but how do you have the time for things?
Does he see his family? Does he still have that family? Or did he give up all that stuff to only ever run? Because it seems like...
Maybe he ran away from home.
And responsibility.
Which one of these superpowers would you most like to have, and what would you use it for?
Which one would you most want to fight?
Subscribe to Top 5 Best, subscribe to The Real Rejects, click that notification bell to get notified whenever we got a video up. Last but not least, David Gandinator. David Gandy, how you doing, buddy? If there's anyone at our Patreon who's a real-life superhero, it's this gentleman. The guy is massively talented, has a wide array of so many artistic skills. The more I get to know him, more creative than I ever realized. Wicked fingers on the guitar. He
Has a huge heart.
a huge heart. It's kind of dangerous. It's gonna grow out of his chest one day and consume the planet. Is 120 years old, and he's still doing martial arts.
He's been buff since he was a child.
It's crazy how skilled David is. He's also the most important quality of all superheroes. He's a protector. And I mean that genuinely. He looks after those that he loves. He will go to bat for anyone. He'll take a bat to anyone who threatens the ones he loves. I don't know about that part.
I've seen it, I know.
I don't know anyone else like him to the degree of how much sacrifice he has made to look after those that he cares about. He's a beautiful human being. He's turning 140 next year.
And that's the most super thing of all.
It's crazy. Oldest man alive,
Yeah.
David Gandy, but looks 45.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. He's OD'd at least 10 times in the last year. And
Trying to die. He can't.
wakes himself up. Taking many bullets
Sliced a few of them in half
with his teeth.
during a mountain
I
climb.
cannot believe how impressive this guy is. These are all sincere thoughts about you, David.
And they're all available in the Guinness Book of World Records.